welcome everybody to Rolling on Three, the podcast for all three-wheel owners, three-wheeler riders, whether you're riding in a Spider, Ryker, Slingshot, Vanderhall. If you're rolling on three, this is the podcast for you. Today, I'd like to welcome Stephen to the show. Stephen is from Upstate South Carolina, known as the Big Papa Ryker. Stephen, welcome to the show.
All right, man. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, I start off the show with every question. What are you rolling on?
I've got a 2020 Ryker 600, and my wife has a 2019 Ryker 600.
Oh, I got a family of Rikers. That's
Yeah,
nice.
I tried to get her in here, and she's like, "Nah, I'm not doing that."
After she sees the show, I bet you she'll be like, I want to be on the next one. So,
Yeah, you got to hitting her up on a one-on-one yourself. So,
so, well, when did you buy the Riker? Like, well, did you buy them both at the same time? Like, when did it happen?
yeah, we bought them at the same time. We bought them both back in June at Power Sports in Greenville,
Okay.
and hers was a demo model. It was reserved as a 2019. So
Uh,
we got a little better deal on that. Then, like I said, I found the 2020, and yeah, we bought them both at the same time. So just we wanted the 600s, didn't want nothing super fast, just something to ride around on and enjoy life with. So
all right. Yeah, that's the way to do it. I mean, I'm glad you. I'm quite sure the dealer was happy you went in there and got two bikes. That's a nice sale
oh
for
yeah,
him.
yeah, he was definitely happy.
Yeah. So, that the place that you bought it from, is it far from you or is it close? Is it strictly Can Am's? Like, how did that work?
It's a place called Power Sports. They sell Hondas and they sell a little bit of everything. It's mainly I think kind of geared toward dirt bikes and things like that, four wheelers. But they are a Can Am dealer, and it's probably 30 minutes from the house, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, when you picked it up, I guess your wife was there too. So y'all rode home together then.
Yes, sir. We actually took a day off from work to go pick them up because we bought them and on a Saturday, and we
Uh-huh.
got to get some stuff cleared up through the bank to get the funds,
Right.
because we just bought them straight up. We didn't finance them or anything. So
Okay. All right.
we bought them, and then we had to wait. They off places closed Monday, so I had to wait to Tuesday to pick them up, which killed both of us. So we actually took a day off from work and rode down, picked them up to get used to them and ride them and everything. So
All right. That's cool. Did you ever ride before?
I've ridden a two wheeler a couple times, but nothing to really say that I've really ridden before. I never really grew up around anybody that had a two wheeler that I
Okay.
felt comfortable riding with. So I've always wanted a motorcycle, and this was kind of the perfect opportunity. So
All right. Well, so why did you choose the Can Am as the three-wheel Can Am instead of a two-wheel bike?
uh, just a lot of it had to do with her too. She got nerve problems, and she always wanted to ride too, but she wouldn't. We actually wanted to buy one together to
Okay.
ride two up. And she set on one. She set on the one she actually bought and fell in love with it. So it's actually helped with her nerves and depression and everything because it makes her feel kind of open and free to be able to do things. And like I said, we can do it together. So
No, that's hey, whatever gets you out there, that's what it's about, right? If you're comfortable and it gets you in a good mood, then that's how you do it. So, um, in upstate South Carolina, how's the bike life out there? So is it like, a lot of bikes? You don't see many Can-Ams. Like, how is it out there?
you see more Harley Davidsons, I guess, and the Indians up through
Hmm.
this area more than anything. We've seen a couple Rikers. The dealership we bought it from said I sell them like crazy, but I've seen maybe three or four more in the whole time we've owned it, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's because it's worse, even through the summer. I guess with the COVID stuff, a lot of people might not have been out riding.
Right.
But we rode ours every day. We ride it through the wintertime and everything too. But it's mainly a two wheel community around here, and it's they seem pretty cool with what we got though.
Okay. It's the same. It was the same thing out here with in New York. Like, there was a waiting list to get the Riker when it first came out, and you didn't see too many in the beginning, but then after a while, you just seeing them like one a day in the summer.
Yeah.
And then when they have big ride outs, you just start to see a lot more and more. But I think in the beginning, like you said, I didn't see too many people, and I'm quite sure COVID probably did keep people away from being out and riding around and having the extra funds to ride. But
Oh
I
yeah.
get it, yeah. But as long as the bike life out there is, is respectable and there's a lot of bikes out there, it makes it a lot easier because, certain places I hear people buy the Riker and they be like, "Oh, I'm the only one in my town with one." And every time I'm at a light, somebody's yelling at me, "What is that? What is that?"
Yeah, we still get that quite a bit.
Oh,
People
okay.
look at us like we aliens, especially in the wintertime. We riding to be 30 degrees, riding to work, and you look
Listen,
over at people in their car, and they'll be doing like this, like, "Are you cold?" I'm like, "Nah, I got all the cold weather gear I need, so I'm good to go." So
well, I was gonna ask you about the weather out there, but you just told me you a cold weather rider, so I could say that you probably don't have to. You don't put your bike away for the cold season, then, huh?
we haven't, no sir, we haven't at all.
I can't.
I
I
don't need no
can't.
battery tender, that's for sure.
I can't do it, man. I tried, man. I'll go even if I go in my garage and it's below 40. I'm like, nah, I'm going back inside. I tell you, boy, I don't know how you guys do it. I respect the cold weather riders, but I just can't, man. I'm just too soft, man.
Yeah, we ride the rain, cold, man. It don't matter. We got the rain suits, the full face helmets. We got the whole deal, so we good. They finally got tired of asking me at work, "You ride that thing to work this morning?" I'm like, "Yeah, I sure did."
Yo, so I'm assuming, well, now that you said you rode it to work, so is it always just a commuter vehicle or is it your fun vehicle or is this one of those things I'm riding every day? I don't care no matter what.
Every day, I don't care, no matter what. Yeah,
I
yeah.
hear you.
It's become our daily rider. We got a little 2003 S10 truck, and we've probably driven it twice, maybe since we've got these things.
You
So
got a
it just
trailer because you're gonna be pulling them.
yeah. I put the luggage and stuff on the back of mine. I got a top case, and I kind of retrofitted some Harley side bags onto the back of it. So anywhere
Oh
we go, I
yeah.
mean, I'd pile the groceries in it and clothes or whatever you need, and just take off. So
How's the all right, so where you at? How's the roads? Are we talking dirt roads, paved roads, back roads? Hills, mountains? What we talking when we ride?
mainly where I'm at, it's good riding, good roads around where I'm at. But we've taken off up through the mountains a few times. We went to Pigeon Forge. I think it's back in October for our anniversary,
Hmm.
and it's normally like a 2.5 hour ride from our house, but it took us 6 hours to get up there because we hit all the back roads all the way up. Just enjoyed the leaves, the scenery, and just being together, stopping when we wanted to stop, and just enjoying it. So
Is that like a
we've been on the
mountain
highway a
ride?
couple of times, but I try to avoid them if I have to.
Oh, I hear you. I hear you. That's like a mountain ride up, or it was just a scenic route. What was that?
A lot of it was mountain. We went up to Moonshiner 28. I don't know if you ever heard of that coming out of
No, no, no.
Walhalla. It
Mm.
runs all the way up to close to where the Tail of the Dragon's at. But we didn't go that far. We ended up cutting off left and going out through the mountains that way to go up into Pigeon Forge. But yes, it was a good winding mountain road and stuff. So it was a lot of fun.
Everybody, I hear the tail of the dragon all the time. I hear a lot of people. I see a lot of people posting it, and everybody talks about taking a bike up there. So
Yeah.
it'll be on my to do list one day. I hear so much about it, so I got to try to take it out.
Yeah, that's one thing we want to do ourselves. We haven't made it up there yet, but we're gonna eventually get up that way. So
I guess that's a real popular place because I must have had about 4 or 5 people mention it already. And then
yeah,
when I
yeah.
watch the YouTubers, that's a big bike thing up there. A lot of people bring bikes up there. Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
bikes and last few years, a lot of sports cars, little Mazda Miatas, little drifting type cars or whatever I guess you want to call them.
Right.
Kind of come in the area up there, but it's still mainly a motorcycle type deal. So
Oh, okay. All right. That's interesting. So if the for the viewers that are not watching, that are just listening to the podcast, so if they're riding, their bikes through the states, I always like to ask, where would be the meetup spot or the popular hangout spot where the bikes would post up, or the gas station, or wherever the bike meetup spot is. So where would it be at where you're at, if they have one?
I think that's a good question, to be honest with you. It's not that we hadn't really met a lot of people riding. Like I said, I mean, it's mainly two wheels.
Right.
And they have a couple of bike night shows over at the Harley Davidson place in
Okay.
Greenville. And we hadn't made it over there yet, but it was getting kind of late in the summer when I really found out about them and stuff. So we're gonna try to hit that up when springtime comes
Okay.
around and see how that goes and whatnot.
No, definitely, definitely. Because I like to get a sense of the area you ride around in, because a lot of people, of course, they like to take their bikes cross country, visit different states. So I figure every time I get a new person on the podcast and they tell me about their area, so people can get an idea of, what it's going to be like,
Yeah,
where's the nice spots, the weather, so you guys, it does it get real hot? I mean, you tell me it gets cold, but does it get real hot up there,
yeah. In the
down there?
summertime, it gets up running in the mid 90s easy, especially through July and August. It can get warm. You definitely need
Oh,
some good long sleeve shirts and gloves on to keep from getting burnt.
burned
Getting
up.
sunburn or anything. So, but it's for the most part, it's good riding weather around here. I mean, it don't get. I know I said it gets cold, but it don't get. I mean, it don't stay that cold all the time. You know, but it's good riding weather around here. Good roads. It's a very beautiful place to ride in the upstate.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, when you can ride and have those places to pull over and catch the scenery and chill for a little while and
Yeah.
get back on the road. Me in the city, I'm just really just navigating traffic.
Oh yeah.
And when it gets hot, it's hot, and these highways are kill you. And it's bad. It's not like I could take back roads. I'm like either gonna take the streets or I'm gonna take the highway.
Yeah.
Either
Exactly.
way,
Yeah.
I'm be sitting in traffic, so I don't get a chance to, you know, get out there and see the scenery. Yeah, maybe later on when I retire and things like that, I'll do it. But right now, I'm just commuting and doing this right now. So I'm just putting it out there for people.
Yeah. I've enjoyed watching your podcast, man. It really gets cool to see everybody, all the
Yeah,
different walks of life, and see who rides them, and like you said, how they're enjoying them and everything.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it. And you know what's crazy? That, people have actually met other people in their neighborhoods through this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had people meet each other and send emails back and forth. So I'm like, hey, it's cool. I like that. So my thing is to try to get this thing into like a big community. So everybody with these Rikers and spiders can turn it into like one big organization. So we can all like, go 3,000 bikes one day and meet up somewhere.
Oh man, that'd be awesome. That'd be really awesome.
Definitely would. So tell me, you got, well, the Riker. It's un un I don't even know how to say it. It's endless in modifications. So
Oh yeah.
so far, what you got? What you got in mods?
Well, I'll start with hers. We hadn't done a whole lot to hers. You can
Okay.
tell by the gear I got on. We're big Clemson fans, but
Yeah.
I took her panels off and the rear fender off her bike and painted them up with Clemson tiger paws and make them look like the tiger
Nice.
helmet, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got a phone holder and stuff on hers, but she's kind of fine with hers the way it is.
Okay.
Now mine's a whole different story.
Yeah, I saw some of your videos, your pictures on Instagram. So tell me all about it, man, because people love to hear about mods. It's where people get their ideas and creations. So tell me all about it.
Yeah, I went with the paint scheme, the P40 Tiger Flying Tiger Warhawk theme from the 40s in World War
Mhm.
II, just to
Right.
kind of honor the military, And because I work in a body shop and paint shop in Greer, so I got a little in on that, I guess, to be able to do things. But that's where I come up with my design on that, and I put the max mount, like I said, in the luggage. I got my top case off Amazon. Like I said, I retrofitted some uh, Harley soft bags, on the back of it and whatnot.
Mhm.
And I got it had LED lights on it, and I bought one of the Fang grills to put on the front of it.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I
What's
actually,
yeah, go ahead, sorry.
no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What's your best mod?
Uh, I like my luggage I've put on it because it really helps. Like I said, where they've become our daily riders.
Mhm.
I could, like I said, I can go to the grocery store with it, or like I said, we went to Pigeon Forge. Plus, we've been to Myrtle Beach too. We can
Right.
just throw clothes in the back of that thing and take off and not worry about it. So
Definitely. No, definitely. I like to see, like here when people do all these different mods, if what's the best that works out for them, because everybody says it's different. Some people will be like, well, I like the cup holder.
yeah,
And some people were like, no, I love my windshield. But that's cool that you painted yours. How was that process? Because that was mostly plastics that you painted, right?
it is. Yeah, I just
Mostly the people I've dealt with just use the vinyl wrap. So
the wraps and stuff. Yeah,
yeah, so
yeah.
how was that process with the painting?
Well, it's you know how simple it is, kind of take them off, but the
Yeah.
process of painting it is just we've got some for lack of better words, I guess chemicals we can use on that plastic that we scratch the plastic up with basically
Hmm.
without gouging it real bad.
Right.
And we've got different chemicals. We use DuPont stuff, DuPont and uh, I skips my mind what other paint company we got. But
Right.
anyway,
Right.
yeah, it gives like an adhesion promoter to the plastic
Okay.
itself. And
Okay.
then we based it, and it's clear, but it's a matte clear. That
Uh-huh.
way it gives it that old look. It's not shiny or anything. It kind of keeps with the theme of the bite being
Right.
kind of flat. So
Right. No, no, that's cool. I mean, because I never really had a chance to speak to somebody who actually painted it, and I was always curious with that type of plastic. Does it chip? Like, what kind of paints they use? Are people just using spray paint? Like, because I wrapped mine,
yeah,
and that was an ordeal. But it was work, but it was my first time doing a wrap, and I liked it. And I said to myself, I said, "Oh, I'm just gonna wrap it because this way, as time goes on, I could just change it
yeah,
into anything else." But then it became such part of the bike that people named the bike the
yeah.
wrap, so it
That's how they
became a
know you. Yeah.
yeah. So now it's like I can't change it. So, but so the only thing I'm just adding is more stuff to it. So I got so many lights on it, and I even got more lights on the way. So I think it's gonna look like a alien spaceship by next
That's
my
awesome.
next riding season. They were like, "Oh, it's a UFO coming down the highway," because it's just I just put so many lights on it. It's just and it just doesn't stop. So it's like, I'm already like 38. No, I gotta be more than that. I gotta be about $4,000 in it knots.
Yeah, I tell you, you can add up quick.
Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness, man. It is it's so addictive, and they just keep pumping out stuff like, and it's like it's so many. You figure with a bike, you figure how much can you put on, but it's like I could find another place to add something.
Add something. Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy. I mean, whoever designed that, if that was their intentions, just to keep you spending more and more money on mods, it was just genius. Because
They nailed it, didn't they?
what, man? If I tell you, bro, I was like, "Ah, get it. It's no big deal." I'll throw a couple. Now it's like, what? I'm in the garage all the time. Something's coming in the mail. I'm getting like Amazon. It's like, hey, man, you want to just set up a shop here? You're getting an order every day.
Yeah, the Amazon guy feels like family now, don't he?
That's true. That's true. Soon he's gonna be like, "Hey, your part for the bike's coming, man. Let me, put it. I'll give you a hand if you want." Are you? I know you said you're new riding, but are you planning on riding with others? Setting up a club, or what's the future plan on that?
I'd like to ride with some others. I have met one guy in the Can Am forum I'm on online on Facebook. He lives in Duncan, which is probably about 10 to 15 minutes from us. He's a police officer.
Okay.
And I really had a chance to connect with him personally, face to face.
Right.
But we've talked about doing some riding and whatnot. And hopefully, if we can get together, like I said, maybe, something we give and we can, maybe not necessarily start a club, but have a little meetups and hangouts and stuff, to be able to just kick it with each other. So,
No, that's cool, man. I mean, especially, to build the community, especially to find people who are like-minded, because this way, you always get that help. Because I've noticed that a lot of people feel that it's so when it's work they have to be done on their bikes, the dealer's always backed up and they got a
Yeah.
delay on parts. And I noticed that now a lot of people I look at the Facebook forums myself, and a lot of people are reaching out to each other for help so they could
Yeah.
DIY their own stuff. So that's pretty cool how they're doing that now. And I even had a few people reach out to me too and bring their bikes over, and they're like, oh, hey, you got the shop open, I need this, that, and the third. And I'm like, listen, man, I'm not a mechanic, but you're gonna have to get down here and help me too, So I know as much as the manual can show me.
That's it. You gotta get your fingers dirty with me. Get here to
Yeah,
help.
yeah, because I'm like, I'm learning like everybody else, but it's
That's
crazy.
that's like I changed oil in both ours here, I guess a couple months ago, and I've been trying to find some videos to learn how to change the CVT belt. So I want to try to do all that stuff myself, if
Right,
I
right,
possibly can. So,
right. I
but
think from what I got from the manual, I think the CVT belt is after 20,000 miles. I think they say you should change it. I'm not sure. I
yeah,
gotta.
I'll have to look and make sure. Yeah, to double check and make sure because we racking some miles up on ours. I've got almost 9,000 on mine, and she's got about
Mm.
8,500 on hers. So,
Oh man, you putting some heavy miles on
oh
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and we ride.
yeah. No, that's heavy miles, man. nine
Yeah.
thousand. That's probably you're probably up there from most of the people I've spoken to, especially having a new one like that. Yeah, you're up there. Yeah, you're putting in some work. So yeah, you definitely had to do the oil change. What's the oil change at, like 6,000 miles or something like that?
Yeah, yeah. I changed it right around that area, and I
Yeah.
work on not my dealer because my dealer's great. They've been great in the process and everything, but I was gonna pay them the $300 or $400 to change oil, and I'd order a $50 kit off Amazon and do it myself.
Yeah,
So
pretty much. I mean, that's where you're at with it. And,
yeah,
definitely save yourself a dollar or two. I
yeah.
mean, for
Especially when I
that.
got two of them to work on. So
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Save yourself the trouble, and you get to learn the bike the more you start tinkering around with it. Cause that was
oh,
the same
exactly. Yeah,
thing. The same
yeah,
thing happened to me when I started doing mine. Cause I had a bike before and I've did modifications and lights and stuff. So when I got that, I jumped right on it. And I didn't even realize I wired everything up to the battery before I realized there was an auxiliary port.
yeah.
But it was like I was a learning process when I popped
Oh yeah,
everything open. I said, "Holy cow, there's an auxiliary." I said, I went and rewired everything else. So it's a learning process, but it's good to get under there and tinker with the bike. So
oh yeah, yeah.
and
You figure out what's going on in there.
yeah,
So
definitely, definitely. So that's pretty cool. And plus, you got two to work with, and your ladies riding. That's pretty awesome, man. That's pretty awesome. So I got a segment I started with the podcast real quick. If you had to describe your Can-Am in one word or one sentence, how would you describe the experience?
uh, for me, probably family because with me and my wife, like I said, just me and her riding basically by ourselves. We've been married 31 years. We've done a lot of things together over the years, but this has probably
Congratulations.
been, thank you, I appreciate it. This has probably been one of the best things we've done with each other, just to get up and out of the house and just be more active and do things. So,
Hey, listen, man, that's beautiful right there. And you know what's wild? Every time I ask this question, I get a different answer. Yeah, I always get a different answer, and
yeah, oh yeah,
they're always unique. Everybody's getting a very unique experience out of their Can-Ams.
oh yeah,
It's amazing. It's amazing.
yeah. I mean, they're an amazing little bike. I mean, they're just like you said. You leave it bone stock or put 5 grand in it, and you still got a cool bike either way.
Yeah, and it's true.
So
And you know what? I never see two of the same unless they're sitting in the dealership.
exactly,
That
yeah,
is so weird, man. I mean,
yeah.
I've been to ride outs where there was like 200 bikes, and I never seen two of the same.
Same thing, yeah.
Yeah, so that's crazy, and I like to hear that people are doing different things and unique things, man. That's just pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. So, man, listen, this was great, and I like to keep the podcast nice and short because the YouTube extension span is after you go past a certain amount of time, people
yeah,
will just
yeah.
click your video, right?
Be done
But
with it.
but yeah, promote what you got on. And for the people who are just listening that don't watch because the podcast is streaming, uh, just give out your social media and what you got going on, what you got coming up. Just tell the people.
Okay. Well, the biggest thing social media wise, I got Instagram. I don't do YouTube or anything, but you just hit me up on Instagram at Big Papa Ryker. And you can follow me on Facebook at Stephen Big Papa Lida on Facebook. So
All right.
but that's basically it as far as that goes. So
Yeah, that's it. I mean, if somebody, you heard them, right? So if you upstate South Carolina, this is the man you could reach out to. He's on Facebook, he's on Instagram. So if you're watching the show or listening, you might be, a mile or two from this guy. So from Steven. So he might hook up and do a ride out. So this is what it's all about.
that sounds good. We more than welcome for it.
Hear that. I hear that. Well, I'm Keith Hammer. This is Rolling on Three, the podcast for all three wheelers. If you want to reach out to me, that's right. Let's get three wheels up. If you want to reach out to me, and my email is rollingon3@gmail. That's the number three. My YouTube is Rolling on Three Wheels, all spelled out. My Twitter is Rolling on Three, and my Instagram is Shadow Black Riker. All the information will be posted down below. Steven's information, Big Papa Ryker, his information will be posted down below. So if you want to get up with him, in case you forgot what he said and that he told you where he was at, so you'll be able to get his information. I also have a support link and donate buttons down there for all the people who are enjoying the podcast and just listen and watch. So, hey, man, Steven, man, it was great to have you on the show, man. Appreciate it. Maybe next time we'll get your wife out there and she'll be like, y'all could sit there together.
Yeah,
And
sounds good, man.
she'll be happy to tell me all about her fun times
Oh
on
yeah,
that bike.
yeah, you love that.
They all start off shy, but trust me, I've had a husband and wife team on the show, and she took over my show too. So hey man, Steve, it was great, man.
Hey, I really
Appreciate you.
appreciate it, man. I appreciate the time, and I appreciate what you're doing for the community and for everybody in it, man. It's been a blessing. It's cool, man. I really enjoy it.
Thank you, man.